it is not slowing down with the war that's going on in Iran. And just as I predicted in the video the other day, it's just going to get worse. I had a feeling this was going to happen after seeing Iran retaliate, and it just kind of... I knew it was going to snowball. We all kind of did. I was looking at the comments in the previous video, the discussions that were being had. It seemed inevitable and unavoidable, didn't it? Iran's really lashed out. In return, the Iranian supreme leader, I'm going to try and say his name right now, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has been terminated. That was 2 days ago, because news goes really quick now. We're going to be looking into what's going on. Look, it's a complicated situation. We didn't know that the UK was going to get involved, and turns out everyone's been like, you know what, we're going to get involved now, especially after seeing footage of British base being targeted and civilians being targeted. We've seen footage of drones hitting around the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world, which I've been to. It's a beautiful place, by the way. And so it's kicking off. It's kicking off and it's not slowing down. But before we get started, check out Chug. 10% off. Link down below for the best drinking vessel in the world if you want to get yourself a tanker that will last you a lifetime. Because unlike other ones, the inside comes out. Boom. Look at that. Boom. Fantastic. 10% off. Link down below. Handmade here in the UK by a small business using sustainable materials. Ships to America. If you want to look like a legend, like a knight of the Seven Kingdoms, while drinking your drink around the fire this summer, buy yourself a Chug. Also, if you haven't seen, I did make a drink. Go check it out. I'm working really hard on this. I've got some really cool news coming up about it soon, within the next few weeks, if it goes well. And I'm very excited about it. So if you haven't already, go follow the Drink Morale social media, okay? The Instagram, the YouTube, and all that stuff. Go check it out because it's really good. And we're doing a lot of outdoor content. And when you're watching stuff like this, that is very much like military bombings and all this other horrible stuff, it's always really important to also just go get yourself outside. So go follow Drink Morale on all socials, link down below. Okay, here is the classic live map that we've been using for years now. We started using this when Russia invaded Ukraine. As you can see, all these icons here, these are all individual bombings that have happened in Iran, okay? What's really cool is all the news is on the right-hand side here. You can see 3 minutes ago, air defense intercept. By the way, it is currently 11:30 here in England, which for the East Coast, I think we're like 5 hours ahead. So it's going to be early morning on the East Coast of the United States. So when I say 3 minutes, 7 minutes, just pertain that as, you know, 11:30 a.m. British Standard Time. Air defense intercepted at least 2 drones near Erbil Airport in Iraqi Kurdistan, which houses US bases. UK maritime trade operations, 2 projectiles hit a ship in Bahrain port. Crew evacuated. Oman Maritime Security Center oil tanker MKD Fume was attacked by a drone boat off the coast of Muscat. It's crazy seeing that because I was in Muscat. I was in Muscat with the military. I was around this whole area. Yeah, Salalah, Muscat, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Bahrain. This is where I was. This was my place when I was in the military, when I was doing anti-piracy. So it's interesting to see it kicking off in a place where I was at. So as you can see, the bombings have gone in all the usual areas. Here's Tehran right here. Tehran? I don't know how people pronounce it. You can see where the bombings have been hitting here. We've got mixed messages from this, right? And I want to really make this video about these mixed messages. This definitely feels like a war that Israel wanted and that the West has been pulled into. That's my opinion. However, there's 2 things at play here. It's very easy to say we shouldn't get involved with Iran and that bombing Iran is bad, 100%. But there's 2 things that can be true. The supreme leader was not doing good for women's rights and all this other stuff in Iran, right? They were obviously... The regime that was in Iran was toxic and bad. And so two things can be true. One, we shouldn't be getting involved in another country's situation. But two, it was also a shit situation. It's as simple as that. And so you're seeing this like weird development politically of left and right, where there's a lot of left-leaning people that are saying, don't get involved, but also we need to look out for the rights of the civilians in Iran. And so it's a kind of a good thing, but also a bad thing and also a good thing. It's a complicated situation. It's really quite weird, isn't it? To be honest with you. Here's another good map that I actually really, really liked that was on X. US-Israeli attacks on Iran and its retaliation. So you can see all the different bombings that have happened around here. I think we're going to do a video in the near future talking about how these bombings actually took place from a logistic and military standpoint. I think that would be really interesting. We're going to be looking here on ground news as well. I've got a few different articles that I want to read through with you guys just to give us up to date with what's going on. This video is really to get us up to date with the current affairs, what's happening over there, because it is quite complex. February 28th, 2026, Iranian state media reported the death of the supreme leader of Iran, aged 86, killed in US and Israeli airstrikes in his Tehran compound. Boom. Done. Confirmed. Apparently, Trump and some other leaders of other countries saw footage of the body of the supreme leader. It's done. He's gone. However, we watched a video not long ago about how just because he's gone doesn't necessarily mean regime change. Doesn't necessarily mean that's it. It's going to be a strange and rocky road for Iran. Trump predicts more US casualties as Iran operations will continue until all of our objectives are achieved. President, in a video posted Sunday, which was yesterday, said combat operations will continue until all objectives are achieved. And sadly, there will likely be more before it ends. After CENTCOM confirmed 3 US service members were killed and 5 seriously wounded. After weekend strikes killed Iran's supreme leader, US and Israel used CIA intelligence to identify targets, officials say. According to US assessments, strike hit ballistic missile sites, air defense, and Revolutionary Guard facilities, sinking 9 Iranian Navy vessels, with US assessments stating America has the most powerful military. We already know this stuff. As strikes spread across the region, Iranian and allied attacks killed more than 200 people in Iran and at least 9 in Israel, while 3 ships were attacked in the Strait of Hormuz, disrupting maritime routes. Mr. Trump said he was planning for around 4 weeks of conflict and I once again urged the Revolutionary Guard, the Iranian military and police to lay down their arms and receive full immunity or face certain death, while Iran named an interim leadership council. Now, as always, when it comes to any conflict like this, civilians have been caught up. Iranian and allied attacks killed more than 200 people in Iran. There was footage of a Iranian all-girls school being bombed. I don't know whether it was confirmed, whether it was Israeli bombing or US bombing. They killed like 40 plus young schoolgirls, which is unacceptable. I understand it's war, but this heartbreaking. And the Iranians killing more than 200 people in Iran as well. It's unacceptable. Obviously, the Iranians, it's a bit different because their regime are killing people for mundane laws because of this regime that's on. And so it's a complicated situation, but it's never nice to see that stuff, and it does break my heart. Several US warplanes crash in Kuwait. Crew members survive. I thought this was really interesting. I wanted to talk about this because it's so easy to think that the US attacking a country would just be copy and paste of what happened with the US and Venezuela, where they're in, they're out, it's done. No casualties. The truth is, it's a lot messier than that. And yes, the US is an absolute powerhouse of a country that can, take any country on in the world. Doesn't mean it's not messy. US warplanes. I haven't seen what planes it was that got downed. Oh, wait, here you go. Suggests F-15E twin engines. But it's, again, CNN analysis of the video suggests. It's not been confirmed. And to be honest, we might not get a confirmation on something like that in the first place. But if you know anything more about that, let me know. Iran says US-Israeli attacks have killed 555 people so far in Iran. On Monday, the Iranian Red Crescent Society said US-Israeli airstrike campaign has killed at least 555 people in Iran as the conflict expanded with strikes and counterstrikes. As joint US and Israel attacks Sunday that killed Khamenei, which is the supreme leader, and many top officials, triggering escalation, with Iran responding with missile strikes and civilian casualties. Regional health ministries said that at least 131 cities across Iran have been affected, while rescue services in Israel confirmed 9 killed and 28 wounded in a Bet Shemesh synagogue strike. And Lebanon reported 31 and 149 wounded after Israeli strikes. It's obviously, when you go to war, like, numbers are important. Numbers don't lie. People lie. As the famous Jay-Z says, was it Jay-Z? Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. I've probably butchered that. But the idea that this many people are dying, it's, as someone who is very much anti-war, it's heartbreaking. It's legitimately heartbreaking, especially civilians. A lot of these civilians just don't even want to be involved. Look at this picture. Young women in Iran leading the protest. They want regime change. It's such a powerful image, that, isn't it? Such a powerful image. They want regime change. Unfortunately, through regime change, civilians going to get caught up. That's just the way it has been throughout time. Doesn't mean it's easy to watch. We're very privileged here in the West, where we watch this stuff from afar, don't we? We watch it from afar in the comfort of our homes with our children. The truth is, this is affecting actual people's lives. I don't like looking at the BBC because they have a reputation for hiding people and protecting people that do nasty things. However, they do a really good summary here, which I'm going to read off. I think that's really, really cool. US says 3 jets downed in apparent friendly fire incident. Oh, so it was a friendly fire. Okay, so we got confirmation there. Here, when did this come up? This must have been very, very recent because it's live reporting. US Central Command has just now said 3 of its F-15 jets flying in support of Operation Epic Fury went down in Kuwait due to apparent friendly fire incident. So there you go. Literally, this was... Let me refresh this. This was literally... "15 minutes ago. 15 minutes ago. There you go. Here's a video of it. Oh my god. Oh, look at that. F-15 crashing. Good god. Oh my god. Well, I'm glad that all the crew ejected safely. We know how, if you know, you know, ejections from planes can be quite fatal, just the ejection itself. So it's good to know that that they survived that. You know, I get these jets cost hundreds of millions of dollars, but a life is invaluable. Fighter jets leave Cyprus RAF base as sirens ring again. Sirens are sounding in Akrot. I'm so bad at pronouncing things. According to local reports, and British fighter jets have taken off. 2 drones heading to that same RAF base intercepted. This is literally coming in as we're literally filming this right now, which is crazy. Let me read the summary real quick. New Iranian strikes have been reported across the Middle East, including Saudi Arabia, where an oil refinery fire is under control. A joint statement from Gulf states and the US condemns Iran. Indiscriminate and reckless missiles and drone attacks, which I agree with. I think it's horrendous. It comes after Israel. It seems what happened is the US and Israel made precise attacks to start with. And in retaliation, Iran just decided to bomb anything and everything. And then it just got messy, and now civilians are getting caught up. Again, it doesn't mean that the strikes the US and Israel did are justified. None of it is justified. But at the same time, regime change is something a lot of people want. It's so complicated, isn't it? It comes after Israel and US launch. It comes after Israel and the US struck Iran on Saturday, killing the country's supreme leader. The Israeli military now says it has launched additional strikes on Tehran. Authorities in Iran have warned residents not to go out into the streets to protest. Definitely stay safe. Definitely stay safe. In Kuwait, several US fighter planes have crashed. We've already done that. The Lebanese health ministry says Israel attacks in Beirut and South Lebanon have killed at least 31 people. Israel says it was responding to Hezbollah attacks. Ugh. On Sunday, an Iranian missile strike killed 9 people in the Israeli city. And in Cyprus, a British RAF base was targeted by a suspect drone strike. Yeah, it's a strange situation, guys, where unlike what popular media likes to portray and Hollywood likes to portray, this is not black and white. This is not good versus evil. This is an amalgamation of shades of grey that is not good, but also good for some people and terrible when you see in the footage of schools being bombed. I don't know whether they were specifically targeted, but it's an amalgamation of everything. When you see footage like this, it kind of gives you a bit of hope that these young women can live the lives they want to live. But it's also very scary, and I hope everyone stays safe. Listen, I'm going to end the video by saying, if you are in the military and you're in that area, if you're in Cyprus, if you're in the Middle East and anywhere, please let your family know that you are safe. I'm pretty sure the UK government said that if you're a UK citizen in them areas, that there are certain protocols you can go through now just to let everyone know that things are going safe. So keep an eye out on that. Have a look at what the UK embassies are saying in them areas. If anyone in Iran, like these young girls here and the young men that are trying to fight for regime change, stay safe, keep your head on a swivel. It's a tricky situation for a lot of people. So, you know, be safe. That's all I can say. If you've got family members in the military out there in bases like Bahrain, where I was, send them a message. Just be like, hey, you okay? Checking in. How's your head? How's things? How's the atmosphere feeling? And get some updates. Other than that, stay safe. I love you all. I will keep you updated on what's going on over the next week or so as this all unfolds. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, check out Chug, 10% off link down below. Get yourself outside, get yourself some morale. Other than that, I love you all. Goodbye.